Assalamu alaikum, 1 p.m. This is Radio Pakistan, the news read by Tarannum Salman. First, the headlines. The federal cabinet has been expanded with the inclusion of 6 more members. The Election Commission says foolproof voting system has been devised for overseas Pakistanis for by-elections to be held on the 14th of next month. The UN Secretary-General has urged member states to enhance their anti-corruption efforts by implementing the UN Convention Against Corruption. And in the United States, the 17th anniversary of 9/11 attacks is being observed today. And now the news in detail. The federal cabinet has been expanded with the inclusion of 6 more members. 3 federal ministers and 3 ministers of state took oath of their office at a ceremony held at the Aiwan-e-Sadr in Islamabad this morning. President Dr. Arif Alvi administered the oath to the new members of the cabinet. 3 federal ministers are Omar Ayub, Ali Muhammad Khan Meher, and Syed Ali Haider Rizvi. Those who took oath as ministers of state are Muhammad Shabir Ali Murad Said and Muhammad Hamad Azhar. Portfolios of the ministers would be announced later. The Election Commission of Pakistan has said foolproof voting system has been devised for overseas Pakistanis for the by-elections to be held on the 14th of next month. Spokesperson of the ECP, Nadeem Qasim, speaking at a news conference in Islamabad today, said an awareness program has also been started for overseas Pakistanis to educate them about I-voting. He said those possessing national identity cards for overseas Pakistanis, machine-readable passport, are registered voters in any constituency and are eligible for I-voting. He said registered voters will be issued a voting passport. Nadeem Qasim said that this is a pilot project and a report will be submitted in the parliament after its implementation. He said Saturday is the last day for online registration. The ECP spokesperson said a website has been launched in this regard, which is www.overseasvoting.gov.pk. Pakistan has lodged a strong protest with India over its recent ceasefire violation on the line of control. Director General South Asia and SAARC in the Foreign Office, Dr. Mohammad Faisal, summoned the acting Indian Deputy High Commissioner and condemned the unprovoked ceasefire violations by the Indian occupation forces in Khanjar sector along the line of control, which resulted in the martyrdom of 1 civilian. Dr. Mohammad Faisal said the deliberate targeting of civilian population areas is indeed deplorable and contrary to human dignity and international human rights and humanitarian laws. The ceasefire violations by India are a threat to regional peace and security and may lead to a strategic miscalculation. The new UN Human Rights Chief, Michelle Bachelet, has said the people of Kashmir have exactly the same rights to justice and dignity as people all over the world. In her opening remarks at the 39th session of the United Nations Human Rights Council in Brussels, she urged India to respect these rights and take meaningful action on addressing issues highlighted in the UN report on human rights violations in Kashmir. She also reiterated the UNHCR's request for unconditional access to Kashmir on either side of the line of control. And the United Nations has urged for more efforts from member states to fight corruption by implementing the UN Convention Against Corruption. Addressing the UN Security Council, the UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres said that governments can also enhance anti-corruption efforts by ensuring independent judiciaries, a vibrant civil society, freedom of the press, and effective whistleblower protection. In the United States, the 17th anniversary of 9/11 attacks is being observed today. Thousands of 9/11 victims, relatives, survivors, rescuers, and others have arrived at the World Trade Center, while President Donald Trump and Vice President Mike Pence will head to the 2 other places where hijacked planes crashed. Nearly 3,000 people died after hijackers crashed planes into New York's World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and a rural Pennsylvania field in 2001. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/radio Pakistan News Official.